Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dirty, and I know it's been a while since I been on camera just to talk about different stuff that's going on in the gaming community and stuff like that. But first things first, I just wanna pay my respects to Iwata from Nintendo CEO President that actually passed away. Last week. Condolence to his family and everything. Now, he's been laid to rest, so everything is everything now. But my main concern now is as you can read the title screen, Nintendo needs to fall in line. And what I mean by that is Nintendo really have to get back into competition. I know you don't want to do competition, but competition is good. I know Nintendo, they trying to do their own thing, go their own path. They did the console war, back in the early 80s and in the 90s with Sega. So Nintendo really don't want to go that route. But in situations like this, when you have two other competitors and you have, two major competitors, you have other devices and stuff that's coming out now, like the Steam machine and the Alpha, Alienware and all that. That's competition now. So basically, Nintendo has to step up. They have to step up. They have to give the gamers and third party what they want. No more excuses. The Wii, nice console. I still own it. I play games on it every now and then. It has some hidden jewels, some hidden games that a lot of people really don't know about. But it had a lot of shovelware. A lot. And that shovelware, overshadowed the real good games. Those hidden gems. Now we going to the Wii U. I like the Wii U. I still have mine. I enjoy it when I play it. I love the gamepad. It just brings a different, style, a different way of playing different type of games depending on what it is. And I could see I could see where Nintendo was going with the Wii U, but I think Nintendo should have focused more on power with that Wii U, which they didn't. Not saying it's not as powerful as the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but when you have third party leave because of your hardware, because they can't port games over from the other two competition, that's bad. They want to jump ship. They don't want to do like the original Wii was, where they had to make separate games. Some games they actually made and they had to tone down the graphics. It just wasn't like the Call of Duties. Call of Duties on the Wii, was like the same thing on the 360 and PS3, except it was scaled down dramatically, and it wasn't in HD. Now Nintendo is in HD now. The Wii U was in HD. But I think what Nintendo should have did was, instead of just going their own way, doing their own thing, they should have put more power in the Wii U. Nintendo now is talking about the NX. And we hear rumors about the NX. We hear rumors that it's not going to be in competition power-wise with the PlayStation 4. My whole thing with that is, if it's not going to be on par or even close, why bring out another console? If third party is not on board with the Wii U because of power, why would they be on board with the NX if it's not on par? Nintendo got to come correct. Nintendo got to get in line. They got to fall in line. Look over the fence and look at their competition and see why their competition is actually, succeeding. Look at Sony and see why they succeeding. But it's like almost 2 years. Well, it's like a year and a half, going on 2 years for the PlayStation 4. It's done sold over 22 million. You know, Xbox One, the same, a year and a half, going on 2, and they done sold, I think maybe 12, between 12 and 15 million. I'm not sure on they count, but I know it's somewhere either 12 or 14, something like that. But I mean, still, it's not as good as PlayStation 4 with the Xbox One, but it's still better than what the Wii U has done in 3 years. And Nintendo just needs to fall in line and see what North America, you know, likes to game with. You know, North America, we like voice chat. We like party chats. We like invitation, you know, sending out invites to friends to play games. We like notification on screen. We don't want to look down at a controller to see a flashing light and don't know what the flashing light is for, when you could just put notification up on the TV. We know what it is, and we could decide if we want to answer it or just ignore it. Nintendo needs to fall in line with the NX. And I'm saying it now. Nintendo, I'm thinking that if it's not on par with the PlayStation 4, it have to be on par with the Xbox One. It has to be. In order to get third party to come along so they can port their games over to the NX, Nintendo has to do it. Nintendo have to put in voice chat. You know what I'm saying? With the Wii U, this is how I look at Nintendo, and this is just my thoughts, my opinion, my theory with Nintendo with the Wii U. Nintendo came with the Wii U, say, you know what, we're going to go into high definition. Cool. But they really didn't put any power in it. Now, they took their operating system and said, you know what, we're going to integrate Miiverse, which they did. Now, when it comes to invites, party chats, you know what I'm saying, other chats, Nintendo got the infrastructure. So I'm gonna break it down to you, and this is what I think what Nintendo did. Nintendo said, okay, we're going to give you all this, but we're going to let third party finish it. So basically, Nintendo took a foundation. Nintendo brought property. Let's put it like this. Follow me. Nintendo brought property, and they built their infrastructure. They built the, you know, they iOS, they Miiverse, and that Miiverse and all that is a high-rise building. Now, on the side of that high-rise that Nintendo built for the Wii U, there's other little small areas, you know what I'm saying, parking lots. But what Nintendo didn't do with those parking lots that's actually on the side of that building, they didn't put any garage. They put no parking space. So when third party drives up, there's nowhere to park. So basically Nintendo just said, okay, if you want to park, we have the space. You build it yourself. So basically Nintendo is just telling third party, we got the infrastructure. You just integrate everything. You build it from the ground up for your games. And why I say that is, when you look at games like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghosts on the Wii U, which I still own, you could talk to people in the chat, in the lobby. You can talk to people while you in the game. You have teams. You can talk to your teammate. You play free-for-all. Everybody can hear you, and you can hear them if they got microphones. So Activision actually pulled up to the building, to the Wii U building, and started building that parking lot themselves. Basically, I'm thinking that's what Activision did. Activision actually made that themselves in order to put that in the Call of Duty games that's on the Wii U. Nintendo didn't put it there. It's there, but Nintendo didn't build it. They're waiting for a third party to do it themselves. So when it comes to notifications and everything, yeah, the Wii U can get notifications. But we're not going to get notification on screen because Nintendo didn't put it to be put on screen. Nintendo is waiting for a third party to do that. And now I see why third party is leaving. You know, it's going for power because now it's going to cost more money and other development teams to actually encode and port a game over from the other two and maybe scale the game down graphically because it's not as strong as the other two. Nintendo was going to have help with EA, but we all know that fell out. So now Nintendo has all this stuff that it should be doing, which it can do, but third party have to do it themselves. Third party have to build it around the infrastructure that Nintendo made themselves. Nintendo doesn't have it ready for them. Nintendo say, yes, there's notifications, there's invites, you know what I'm saying, there's this, there's that. We got it there, but you got to build it if you want to put a game on the Wii U. That's why I feel Nintendo messed up at. Now with the NX, like I say, Nintendo got to fall in line. Nintendo have to look over the fence and see what your competition is doing. Because if you don't, you will be left behind. If you ignore your competition, don't pay attention to them, don't really care about them, want to stay in your own space, do your own thing, you will be left behind. And that's exactly what's happening with Nintendo. Nintendo is being left behind in the consoles because they do not want to, you know, they don't want to be in competition. You don't have to be in competition, but you still have to watch your competitor to see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because what you did in the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s is not working. You know what I'm saying? It's not working now. There's a whole nother thing that's going on now, but you kind of pushed your, you know, you pushed everything to the side and said, you know what worked for us back then is going to work for us now, and it's not. So basically what you got to do is you got to go and you got to look and keep an eye on your competition. You got to peek over that fence every now and then to see what your competition is doing, because if you don't, if you do not check on your competition will shoot ahead of you before you know it. There's going to be new things that they're trying, new things that they're bringing to the table that if us gamers real like it, is going to take off, and Nintendo is going to be left behind, just like they was left behind with the N64. They wanted to keep cartridge. They wanted to keep cartridge because there was no loading time. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the GameCube, they decided to go with the disc, but what disc they decided to go with? The mini disc. Because Nintendo was scared of piracy, just like the PlayStation 1, just like the Sega Saturn. So they optimized to go with a smaller disc, which really hurt them because it was, it didn't have a lot of storage to it. It was only, I think, 1.5 gigabytes of storage on those mini discs. But you had games for the PlayStation 2 that was 4.7 gigabytes and even went to 8.7 gigabytes. Like, come on, Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? And then you went with the Wii. You didn't go HD because you said with the Wii, you did your test. You know, you looked and seen that there wasn't a lot of HD TVs in homes. I guess, I don't know if in Japan or around the world, period. But you said there wasn't enough HD TVs in homes for you to fully go HD like Microsoft and Sony. But you went with regular size DVDs for the original Wii, and you decided to go with motion control. Okay, the Wii was a big success. Everybody played it. You know what I'm saying? From kids, babies, grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, everybody. Everybody played the Wii. Everybody loved it. The Wii had some hidden gem games that was awesome. And they also had a lot of shovelware that overshadowed it. Bam. Now we come to the Wii U, and you bring, you know, your Blu-ray, which it's a different format. It's not really Blu-ray, I don't think it is, Nintendo said, but it's their own media that has the same, you know, amount of storage as a Blu-ray, up to 50 gigs. So this time you said, you know what, we're going to go with tablets because tablets look like it's the thing, but you didn't go with power. And that's what your two competitions did. They went with power. You, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, didn't want to do the online gaming because you said that, you know, people still want to come to people's house. So you were still left behind in that area. And you trying to make it up with the Wii U, but the Wii U just can't do it. You built the infrastructure, but you didn't complete it. You want third party to complete the infrastructure that you tried to build for the Wii U. And it's not working. It is not working. So with this NX, Nintendo, you need to get up off your ass before you become irrelevant in the console. And people only going to know you for handhelds. So get off your ass. Give us voice chat, party chat, notification, game invites. We want that stuff on screen. All that should be on screen. We need that to be on screen. You need to have a console that's up to par or in between the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One power-wise. So these developers have no excuse of saying we can't port The Witcher 3, Batman, you know what I'm saying? What other game out there that's pretty good? Daylight. None of these games developers should say we can't port over because this and that because of the NX. No. If it's in between both of those two consoles, guess what? It can be ported. And that's what developers want to do. Developers ain't like they was back in the day. Make two different versions of a game. No, developers now, they just want to make a game and port it to every machine from PC to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and they wanted to do it with the Wii U, but the Wii U just can't handle some of the stuff that they want to do. So, Nintendo, get off your ass. Do what you got to do with this NX. You know what I'm saying? Get back into the competition. If you don't want to fully get into the competition, show the gaming community. Fuck it. I say get back in it. Get back into competition. Because I was going to say, if you don't want to be, you know, if you don't want to have the competition between those two, that's fine. But long as you bring the system that can compete with the other two. But I myself, I say Nintendo, go in on them. Go in on Microsoft and Sony. Make that console. Make those consoles you used to make, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. And show them what Nintendo was about back then in the 80s and the 90s. Let them know. So the gaming community could be like, damn, Nintendo was a handful back then. You know what I'm saying? They dominated the market. People say, you know, they was hard on third party and stuff like that. But there was other options that third party could have went to. There was other little small gaming, you know, machines out there. But not as, you know, like the original NES. So Nintendo needs to get back in it. Show these people, you know what I'm saying, what you're made of. Get your name back out there in people's mouth instead of people dogging you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be innovative, you can be innovative. But you have to come with the power for this generation, because this generation console, that's what it's about. Power. Gotta have your console to have the power to get these third-party games, so they won't have excuse to say, oh, well, we can't have we tried to get the Batmobile to run on the Wii U, and it was only going 5 miles per hour. Come on, man, really? A car, one freaking car in the whole entire game that you ride in, and the only type of car you see can only run 5 miles per hour. Come on, man. Like, come with me something better than that. Come with a better lie than that. Because I don't believe that. But to stop developers saying stupid shit like that, Nintendo, get back. Fall in line. You're dragging behind. Fall in line and do what you got to do with this NX. If it come out next year or 2017. You can't do it on your own without third party. Even though you got a shitload of first party games, that's not enough. You need third party to fill in those gaps. And that's what the Wii U, that's what the problem with the Wii U is. It don't have enough third party support games to fill in those gaps until your games come out when they're finished and ready to be put on the market. So Nintendo, do your thing, step up, look at the other two competition, and just go blazing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go and spend, you know, money on DLC and have DLC first for certain games like Microsoft and Sony do, going in their pockets, like, oh, you know, we want these maps first for 30 days. Like, really? Like, you gonna spend all that money, millions of dollars, to have a pack of fucking maps 30 days first? I can wait 30 days. It is not that serious. So if Nintendo don't want to go that route, I understand you. Because I wouldn't want to pay nobody just to have some maps 30 days before my competition. It's not going to make or break you. You know what I'm saying? If you like Sony, you're going to go with Sony. If you like Microsoft, you're going to go with Microsoft. No matter between the 30 days of Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, oh man, I love Call of Duty, but I'm not going to go and rush out and buy a PlayStation 4 just because I can get it 30 days early. Like, that don't make sense at all. So yeah, Nintendo, you better get on the ball with this NX. You know what I'm saying? Because the Wii U, you know, I enjoy it. I have it. I still play it. And I'm waiting for the games that come out, you know, this year. So do your thing, Nintendo. And I'm about to get ready and get out of here because I'm getting a phone call on my phone. Peace out, YouTube. Gaming community, y'all need to get y'all act together. Because I'm going to make a video on y'all because I don't know what the hell is wrong with the gaming community. All this, you know what? Y'all are like a bunch of girls, females. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of y'all got daddies in y'all life for y'all to go back and forth over some plastic. You know what I'm saying? You emotional like your mothers or something like that, man. Like, damn. But that's another video I'm going to step on because I'm getting sick of this community and the way it's going between these consoles and no respect for nobody. Peace out.